Good afternoon. It's live. It's Thursday. It's raining and we don't care. Welcome to Donna and Cheryl TV, keeping it real, coming at you with our life lessons, our life strategies for living your best life, being the best version of you. What more could you want on a Thursday? Welcome.
Absolutely. Yes. It's our favourite part of the day.
Yes. Now I'm making a concerted effort not to throw any bad words in. It's lunchtime. There are children present. Disclaimer at the bottom in very small print with an asterisk says, if in doubt, wear headphones.
Yeah.
Because today we're talking about mood hoovers. I just love the word mood hoovers. That's how I felt last night by the time I'd had the life sucked out of me doing a task that I don't like doing. Sitting at a laptop doing things isn't my idea of fun. And I had a lot of that to do yesterday, didn't I, Cheryl? So I was definitely a mood hoover by the time I left the office at 10 o'clock last night. The office being the den, by the way, with my candles on.
I take it, did you take that out on Neil? Were you doing it? I'm not okay, so you're not going to be okay either, or did you protect him?
Well, luckily for him, he was asleep.
Oh,
so
good.
I walked in, but he then made the mistake of starting to tell me what had been on the news. Like, I don't watch the news. I don't care if what's on the news. And if you mention Boris in the news, nothing good is going to come of that. So I was like, I went and made my soup and he went to bed. And I watched The Housewives of Cheshire. I just needed that kind of TV that you don't have to think about. Yeah. You just escapism, just switched off.
So if you're here, if you're joining us, wherever you are, give us a hello, so we know that you're there. But yes, we're going to talk about mood hoovers and how you manage that. But just as Donna's saying, I think it's important to recognise that we all, at times, can slip. It can be mood hoovers where we're not feeling good, we don't feel okay. So then, like, particularly problems with our husbands or family members, well, then, like, we don't want them to be okay. We need somebody to take it out on because we're just feeling in a bad vibe, in a bad place.
Yeah. Energy vampires.
We would call that being like on a low level of energy, in victim mode. Why is this happening to me? Even if you've decided to do it, we then feel like victims because we're in this swirl of just like not feeling okay with ourselves and the world. And at times we want to make other people feel like crap as well when we're feeling like that. We all go there. The important thing for ourselves when we're in that zone is to recognize that we're there and snap ourselves out of it. It's no good. No good comes of staying there for long periods of time. It just makes us feel bad.
It doesn't feel good. And that's how you know whenever you don't feel good, like your emotions, your feelings, your vibrations are the best barometer you've got, your inner GPS. So checking in with yourself when you feel like that. But I'd love to know from you, do you know, like, what is it that makes you, nothing makes you. What is it that happens that results in you being the energy vampire, the mood hoover in the room? Like for me, it's when I'm sat with not a lot of human contact doing stuff like we call it blue energy stuff, where it's just you and the laptop, and it's not me learning something on the laptop. It's like if I'm having to do a lot of task-based stuff, it doesn't put me in a good mood. Or from around the news brings out my victim energy, negative stuff massively. Like it doesn't make me feel good. What is it for you? What brings you out in that energy? Like, like grumble sins. Like what makes you want to not feel good and not let anybody else around you feel good? Because it's all very well pointing the finger at other people, but it's really important we identify when we ourselves are going into that energy state.
Because we're doing the mood hoover. Like I spend very little time in this energy. It's not.
What is it? No, but what is it? Like when it does happen, what is it that invites you in there, Cheryl?
Because I call it like feeling sorry for myself. So I struggle to think of occasions where because it would have to be something like pretty big, I think, for me to go there, where I'll feel sorry for myself. Generally, maybe it's if I'm not feeling well. What comes to mind. So if I'm feeling unwell or under the weather, or I don't feel well, I can feel a bit sorry for myself. But what I'll always do is give myself permission to feel sorry for myself, permission to be in the victim stage, and then I'll like have a time zone of how long I'm allowed to be in there, and then I'll back out of it. So I generally don't spend a long moments of time there, but if I'm feeling under the weather, I can feel sorry for myself.
Leah's saying it's when she's tired and hungry, which actually is probably one of the few times I see you in that state, is if we've had a busy day and it's getting to the end of the day and you are ready to switch down and eat, but that's when you can be a bit like, right, okay, I've had enough. Or first thing on the morning, you like to have that space on the morning, don't you? If somebody tramples over that, sometimes that can knock you a little bit out of kilter.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you? I'd love to know, what is it for you that puts you in that real kind of done to, feeling hard done by mode? I was talking to an amazing lady yesterday who was saying, that happened and this happened and then that, and then I'm thinking, God, why is all this happening to me? And then when I pointed out, I was like, well, it's going to keep happening if that's what you're talking about. She's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this on. I'm like, yeah.
And it's a really important point. If you sometimes we don't even know we're in there. Sometimes we spend so much of our lives in there, we don't know that this is a thing. So whenever you hear yourself asking, why is this happening to me? You're in victim state, you're in mood hoover zone, you're in pity party state. And because we use the language of, oh my God, I knew this would happen to me. Good things never happen to me. It happens to everybody else. Like, we've got all of this internal dialogue going on. So whenever you think, why is this happening to me? You're in mood hoover zone, you're in victim state. And then we do try to have pity parties with people. We try to get other people on board to join in the sucking of the mood hoover, because it makes us feel better. If other people are peed off and in that zone, it makes us feel better that way.
Yeah, like energy vampires are thirsty people. When you are in that zone, you want to bring everybody else in. And this is the other side of the coin, really, is it's like, if you are like Charles, a really super positive person, being around people who are more, have a tendency to spend more time in mood hoover energy than you would prefer, can be quite draining, can't you? And it's actually one of the questions we get asked a lot. How do I protect myself, or how do I deal with, or how do I stop people being a mood hoover? That's not the word people use. Negative is usually the word people use. And the answer is, frankly, you can't.
Yeah.
Somebody's just saying tiredness is the only thing that triggers me.
Being short.
Yeah. Lol, I remove myself and I've got better at noticing before it dissipates my energy. Good. Stopping myself from creating drama triangles. We don't like them. Helen, yet soul suckers. Absolutely. So the thing is with other people, when you know other people, like, I think we've all got friends, we've all got family members, we've all got colleagues, sometimes it's your boss, who spends more time in a negative energy, a negative vibration, whatever you want to call it. And you don't exactly kind of go, woohoo, when you know you're going to be spending any amount of time around them. So there's a few different things that you can do.
Yeah.
And I think the first thing for me is really recognizing, because it's almost like you go in with the expectation of, well, they're always like that, so I know I'll feel like that by the time I've come out there. It ain't necessarily so. It's a choice how you feel. So just because their energy is their energy, and some of us are very prone to soaking up the energy and the feelings of other people. But especially when forewarned is forearmed, if you know somebody is a little bit that way, more inclined, you can really do stuff to get yourself feeling good before you spend time with them. And just remind yourself, just because you're with them doesn't mean you have to be like them. It doesn't mean that you have to start feeling the way they feel. That is a choice, and you can raise how you feel to get yourself feeling better before, during, and after that transaction. First thing, it is a choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And secondly, it's just acknowledging that when somebody else is in that state, that's their stuff. Because when, this is still wrapped up in confidence week, when we're feeling like low self-esteem, we're feeling low confidence, we're not feeling good enough, we don't feel worthy, and somebody behaves like that towards us, they might be like sarcastic, they might be being manipulative, they might just be moaning on, we can then perceive that, build this story up in our heads that the way they're behaving is about us, like they're behaving like that towards us, and then we take the story and we then start thinking that we've done something wrong or it's about us. It's acknowledging that when anybody is in victim state, it's their stuff. There is something going on for them that is driving them to be in that state. Unhappiness, insecurity, they might have something going on in their life. And it's just acknowledging that that's the case and trying not to judge them. Because one thing we can get sucked into it, another thing we can become defensive and irritated and angry. Put my hand there. Because I can like that. We can have that coming back up in a second. But yes, I can, because I'm generally very positive, then when I can be met with victim energy, like mood hoover energy, it can then press my buttons and get me irritated and angry at them for being like that. But then I have to remember that they've got stuff going on. Nobody gets up in the morning and thinks, oh, today I think I'll be a mood hoover. You know, I think I'll go and suck the life out of everybody and like I was going to swear there, like thingy on everybody's parade.
Shower on everyone's parade.
Shower everyone's parade. Like nobody really wants to do that. It's just we have sometimes stuff going on where we're in that zone. Sorry, Helen. We'll get Helen's comment back up now.
Let's have a look at Helen's comment. So, I say to a friend that they're blocked if they don't stop messaging with their negativity about this virus. I scrolled through the messages over the last few months. I've asked them 27 times to stop messaging me. So next time they've been blocked, no more. Yeah, because it's really impacting your energy. And sometimes it's hard, isn't it, when we've got friends who, thank you, Helen, that we really want to help and support. So I always go in the first few times of like trying to understand and saying, what is it you need? Where can you get that from? How can you help? Not coaching them without permission, but just kind of having a friendly chat. But it's equally important to share what you need. So it's like with my husband, he likes to talk about the news, but I'll say, but when you talk about the news, that really makes me feel not good. It makes me worry and feel anxious about it. So if you're going to tell me, ask me if I've got time to have a conversation about it. So, for example, I would never want to hear about the news just before I'm then going in to speak to a client, because that's just not the kind of energy I want to have hanging around me. So knowing your triggers is really important, isn't it, Cheryl? It's like knowing when you're going to be going into these situations and managing that as much as you can with people and with yourself.
Absolutely. And thank you for that comment.
Really good comment.
Getting out of your own head. Yeah, this isn't about you. It's about the other person. But because some people unfortunately have this as a default state. Like some people have stuff going on. They spend so much time in this energy. They don't know that they're in the energy. They don't know the impact it's having on you because that's their norm, unfortunately. Yeah. So one thing is avoiding, if you can, the situation altogether. But if you can't, if it's a friend, if it's a family member, if the good outweighs the bad times and you have to spend, it's just getting yourself into an energetic zone that you're aware that you're going into a scenario where you may be met with this energy, and putting some kind, like we talked, like a protective shield around ourselves of light and positivity, so that we put a cloak around us of positivity of the state that we want to be in. And then no matter where that other person's coming from, we don't let that seep through our protective cloak, because we get to choose. Donna said this before, we choose our state. Yeah. We choose where we want to be, and we accept that that's where they are without any judgment, you know, like whatever's going on for them, and we don't then take that on board. Yeah. Sometimes you get caught off guard if you go into a scenario you're not expecting it, and then you might find yourself spiraling downwards and then look back after it and think, oh, how did that happen? But it's important to remember though, isn't it? It's like, I've done this myself, you know, in work. If you're thinking, oh, I've got this meeting with this person, you'll spend all day getting yourself in a funk because you know you're going to be around someone that's negative. But actually, it's your thoughts that's getting you into a negative zone because they're not in the room yet. And then you go in the room and you're only with them for 30 minutes. And yes, they might be, you know, moaning and talking about everything that doesn't work in the company, or the systems are crap, or the migration was rubbish, or the projects run poorly, blah, blah, blah. But then you come out and then you spend all night getting angry about how unappreciative they are. But anything before or after that session is down to your choice, because you can choose to get yourself in a better feeling state by changing the thoughts that you're having. Your feelings come from your thoughts. So if you don't like how you feel, it's for you to change your thoughts. Nobody else in this world can make you feel a certain way. They can invite you, they can elicit it, they can give you a very, very tempting invitation, but really it's down to you how you choose to feel. Because if you are always only going to feel good when everyone around you is happy, like you're not going to feel good a lot of the time, because there's always going to be external aggravators to your status quo. Like that's life, right? So we've got to get good at managing our energy around people who are energy vampires or mood hoovers,
because that's the nature of the beast.
And that's Helen's next comment, is that's what Helen's just saying there. So she's just offered help, signposted them to the groups, and given them some tips and advice and strategies, but actually they've chosen not to take them on board. So now you're protecting yourself. Like, we can only direct impact, choose our own attitude and our own energy. That's the all that we can do. So boundaries is a totally different conversation for totally another day. But what you've done there is implemented some boundaries for yourself so that you're protecting your own energy, which is amazing.
Absolutely. So I hope that's helped. If you've got any questions, drop us a note today on the Now's Your Time page, or on the YouTube chat, or on the or in the Soul System. We have got a great free resource for you today. So every week we write to our community. We call it the Lowdown. It goes out about 6:30 every Thursday evening, and we give a bit of a roundup, and we often share in there some of the life strategies that have bubbled to the surface through the conversations that we've been having with our clients in the Soul System, within our communities on LinkedIn and stuff. So we often distill that down into a few key pointers. So if you're not in the Lowdown and you'd love to get that weekly love letter from us, we're going to drop the link in on the messages below, and you'll be able to just sign up for that, and then you're welcomed into the community. And the other amazing thing about being in the Lowdown is that you in our community always get to hear about any great gifts that are coming up, any free resources. They always get launched there first, and there is something incredible coming for you in the next week or two. So you definitely want to sign up if you want to know more about how to have mindset mastery, live a better life, and be the best version of you. Don't miss it.
Absolutely. And tomorrow is Friday, so it's our last live of the first week of Brunner and Child TV, and we will be joined by our Soul Squad. So if you're not in the Soul System, get in the Soul System. But we have a squad who help us to drive and create a fabulous community spirit in there, and they're going to be coming in with us on the lives. We're having some spotlights, and we're going to be talking to them about confidence. So that's going to be really exciting for us and them. So tune in tomorrow, keeping it real.
Can't wait. Would love to know what your thoughts are from how Donna and Cheryl TV's worked for you so far this week. I've had some lovely comments, thank you. But we also want to know, what more do you want to see? We asked this question in the Lowdown last night too. What more do you want to see? So what topics can we talk about? What problems are you having? What issues are you facing? Tell us, and we'll be sure to share some of our life strategies around that and help you with your mindset mastery. Thank you so much for sharing this lunchtime with us, and we will see you tomorrow. Have an amazing day, guys.
Bye.